If your entire house is built around whatever's trending on TikTok right now, congratulations, you're living inside a countdown clock. In a few years, it's either going to look wildly dated or you're going to be on your third renovation out of pure regret. And here's the thing, trends are fun. I love trends. Designers love trends. But nobody wants to redo their entire house every 2 years because Instagram decided something new is hot. The real magic happens when you understand how to blend what's exciting right now with things that will still look good 10, 20, even 30 years from now. That balance is not accidental. Designers aren't guessing. There's a very specific way to combine trendy and timeless so a home actually ages well. So today we're talking about how to design a home that feels current without trapping you in one very specific year. Before we get into the how, we need to clear something up because timeless has a bit of a branding problem. Timeless does not mean boring. It does not mean beige, bland, safe, or soulless. And it definitely does not mean your house has to look like a furniture showroom from 2004. When people say they want timeless, but end up with a flat white box and zero personality, that's not timeless. That's something I don't want to say in case I offend anybody. Timeless design is about getting the fundamentals right. Things like proportion, balance, quality materials, thoughtful layouts, and design that's rooted in how people actually live. Not how Pinterest photos are staged, but how humans move through a space day after day. There are certain characteristics that show up again and again in homes that age well. Classic millwork profiles that aren't overly ornate or overly minimal, natural materials that patina instead of deteriorate, neutral foundations with depth, not just white slapped on every surface, symmetry and visual hierarchy so your eye knows where to land. These things aren't trends, they're design principles. Principles outlast aesthetics every single time. Now let's talk about why so many homes age badly, because this is where things usually go wrong. Trends are literally designed to expire. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's how the industry works. If nothing ever went out of style, nobody would buy anything new. The bigger problem is that most people copy without understanding context. You see something on Instagram, you like it, and you copy paste it straight into your house without asking whether it actually belongs there. Instagram and Pinterest reward novelty, not longevity. The algorithm doesn't care if your home looks good in 5 years. It cares if it stops your scroll today. So when your entire home is built on trends, it's not a question of if it'll look dated, it's just a question of how fast. Trends are short-term visual language. That doesn't make them bad, it just makes them temporary. Boucle is a perfect example. I knew the second it blew up that it would age very quickly. Ultra high contrast black and white done aggressively, same thing. And listen, I love an arch. I really do. But when every single doorway, niche, mirror, and cabinet opening is an arch, it stops feeling architectural and starts feeling desperate. Trends are seasoning. They are not the meal. Nobody wants a soup entirely made of salt. So how do you actually mix trendy and timeless like a pro? Like most things in life, you start with your foundation. And by foundation, I mean the things that are expensive, annoying, or emotionally painful to change later. Flooring, cabinetry, tile, layout, your main sofa. These are not the places to experiment wildly. This is where you want restraint, quality, and longevity. Think simple lines, classic proportions, neutral tones, and materials that age well. Wood, stone, linen, wool. These materials don't suddenly look embarrassing because TikTok moved on. Synthetic, novelty materials tend to date faster because they're tied to a very specific moment. Boucle versus linen is a great example. Linen has been used for centuries. Boucle had a very loud but brief moment. Only one of those has staying power. If you get the foundation right, your home becomes flexible. You can change the vibe without tearing everything apart. That's the goal. This foundation-first way of thinking is also how I approach the business side of design. If you want to turn this knowledge into something you can actually charge for and build a real design business around, that's what I teach inside my Aspiring Interior Designer program. I'll leave the details below. This is where people either get it right or completely blow it. Trends belong in the layers. Layers are the things you can swap without crying. Paint, lighting, hardware, textiles, decor, art. These are the fun parts. These are where you experiment, play, and express personality. If something requires a demo crew, it should not be trendy. That's the rule. A neutral foundation gives you a canvas. From there, you layer in trends through pillows, rugs, lamps, accessories, or even a bold paint movement if you're feeling brave. When you're bored, you change the layer, not the structure. A good rule of thumb is about 70% timeless foundation and 30% personality and trend. That ratio keeps your home grounded while still letting it feel current and personal. Let's look at this living room because it explains everything we've been talking about. This room works because it knows who's in charge, and it's not the trends. The architecture is doing most of the heavy lifting. Paneled walls, crown molding, tall arched windows. Those elements instantly give the space credibility. When a room has bones like this, it already feels timeless before you add a single piece of furniture. And the color palette supports that. Creamy walls, warm wood, subtle black accents, nothing loud, nothing screaming for attention. These are colors and materials that have worked forever because they're grounded in nature. Wood, linen, wool. They age gracefully. They don't suddenly feel cringe 5 years later. What keeps the room from feeling stuffy is how it introduces trends carefully. That oversized pendant is very now, but it's sculptural and soft instead of gimmicky. The low, chunky coffee table feels modern, but it's solid wood, so it still feels substantial. The styling is edited and intentional. Fewer pieces and more breathing room. And the black and white art is a smart move. It feels contemporary without fighting the architecture or locking the room into a specific year. This room understands hierarchy. Architecture leads, furniture supports, accessories polish. Trends are invited in, but they're not running the show. That's why it feels fresh now and still has a very good chance of looking great 20 years from now. Now, none of this matters if your house isn't livable. Never sacrifice comfort or function for style. Ever. A trend is not worth it if it makes your space annoying to live in. If the sofa looks cool but feels like a park bench, it's not good design. If the layout photographs well but doesn't work for your life, it's a fail. Design should support how you actually live, not how you wish you lived. And that applies to every space, every budget, every style. This is also where true timelessness comes in. Personal meaning, family heirlooms, art you actually care about, travel pieces, things with a story. That's what makes a home feel layered and lived in instead of staged. Trends come and go, but meaning sticks. You don't need everything. You need the right things. It's always better to own a few well-made pieces than a house full of cheap, trendy stuff. Quality lasts. And yes, sometimes that means crying once and buying the expensive piece instead of crying repeatedly because you keep replacing things that break, peel, or look awful after a year. Cheap usually shows, and it almost always costs more in the long run. Now that you have a good idea of what you should and shouldn't do, let's quickly go over 3 mistakes that can make your home scream dated real fast. Number 1, matching everything. This has to be one of the biggest sins in interior design. If every piece of furniture matches perfectly, your house looks like a showroom and not in a good way. Homes should feel collected, not ordered as a set. Number 2, overcommitting to one trend. I don't think this needs much explanation. One trend is fine. A house built entirely around it is not. Number 3, ignoring scale and proportion. This one gets people all the time, especially when shopping online. Always check dimensions. Triple check. A room can look wrong even with beautiful pieces if the scale is off. If your house looks like it belongs to one very specific year, I'm sorry to say this, it's already dated. And if you're watching this thinking, I understand the design part, but I don't know how to turn this into a real business, that's exactly who my course is for. It's about positioning yourself as a professional, communicating your value, pricing with confidence, and building a design business that doesn't rely on trends or luck. If you want guidance and coaching instead of trial and error, the details are below. Some trends stick around longer than others. Minimalism, Scandinavian design, black and white palettes. These styles have proven themselves over time because they're rooted in simplicity and function, not novelty. Your home should evolve with you, not trap you in one era forever. The goal isn't to avoid trends completely, it's to outgrow them gracefully. And if you're wondering where trends even come from, it's a mix of everything: culture, technology, economics, fashion, social media. Design doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's always responding to what's happening in the world. The best spaces tell your story and grow with you. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try colors, try patterns. You won't know what you love until you live with it. Just be smart about where you experiment. That's how you create a home that feels current without constantly needing a redo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.